Imagine walking out into your backyard and being welcomed by a view that looks like it was pulled straight out of a high-end home magazine. Bright, gorgeous colors, clever outdoor decor, and special little details that instantly grab your attention. Now, what if I shared a little secret with you? None of this was bought from a pricey garden center or put together by an expensive landscape designer. Instead, it all came from simple thrift shop discoveries and cheap dollar store treasures. That is right. Today I am bringing you 20 amazing garden projects that you can easily do yourself without breaking the bank. These are not just basic tips. They are your secret weapon for taking regular, tossed-out items and turning them into beautiful, designer-level decorations that will make your yard absolutely glow. Welcome back to your favorite spot for cheap, do-it-yourself projects and creative home and yard makeovers. If you get a thrill out of changing totally basic things into pure magic, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below to tell me which project you are the most excited to try. Let us dive right in and start with some simple but very powerful ideas. Hack number 1. Turning old picture frames into markers for your plants. Just picture a nice collection of vintage picture frames. Maybe the paint is peeling off a bit, but they are packed with charm, and now they are standing proudly right in your garden beds. Take out the glass and swap it for a bright piece of heavy paper or thick recycled cardboard. Grab some chalk markers or letter stencils to write out the names of your fresh herbs, blooming flowers, or garden vegetables. You can paint these frames in super bright, happy colors, or just leave the natural, worn wood for a classic country feel. These frames bring a wonderful pop of color and shape to your planting areas, making it so easy to identify your plants while looking incredibly pretty. Why is this such a good idea? It brings a fun, unexpected twist. Something you normally only see hanging on living room walls is now a sweet little garden feature. The mix of a fancy border right next to soft green leaves makes your growing plants feel very special, almost like framed pieces of art. A quick extra tip for you: spray your frames with a clear, waterproof coat so they can survive the hot sun and heavy rain. And if you want to switch the names out next season, just slide in laminated paper or write straight on the glass for a quick change. Hack number 2. Using colanders as hanging baskets. For this next trick, take your thrift store shopping over to the kitchen supplies and look for those old metal strainers. You know, those bowls with all the holes used for draining spaghetti. They are actually perfect for planting because all those built-in holes mean the water drains right out with no effort at all. Give your old strainer a fresh new look with a quick coat of spray paint. Think about using a soft baby pink, a flat black, or a super bright cheery red. Get some strong rope or metal chains and hang them up from tree branches, a patio cover, or the roof of your porch. Plant things that will spill over the edges like ivy vines, petunias, or soft ferns, and watch as a beautiful waterfall of color grows right before your eyes. This idea is a total winner because it perfectly mixes usefulness with great style. The strainers do not weigh much. They do the job perfectly, and the drainage keeps your plant roots super happy and healthy. Plus, it gives your yard a really fun, retro feel, proving your garden has lots of personality. Here is a little piece of expert advice. Put some moss or a coconut liner inside before you add your potting dirt so it does not spill out through the tiny holes. It is a brilliant way to make a boring kitchen tool into a star piece. And hey, if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, please take a second to do that now. Hack number 3. Dollar store trays to show off your potted plants. Do not walk past those basic plastic or metal serving trays when you are at the dollar store. These super cheap trays can be used as really beautiful bases to group your plants together. turning a random, messy bunch of pots into a planned, beautiful display. Give them a coat of outdoor spray paint or wrap them up in sticky contact paper that looks like real wood, fancy marble, or shiny metal. Set your little succulents, fresh herbs, or small blooming flowers right on top to make a cute mini garden scene. Why do this? Grouping your items on a tray makes everything look neat and adds nice levels to your space. It also keeps water and dirt off your outdoor tables or deck while looking totally intentional and neat. Try putting pots of different heights, sizes, and colors on the same tray to keep the whole thing looking fresh and balanced. And since they are so light, you can easily move your whole display whenever you feel like changing your yard around. Hack number 4. Making garden stakes with dollar store beads. Here is a fun little project that brings a tiny bit of sparkle to your flower beds. Pick up some bright plastic or glass beads and some long wooden barbecue skewers or thin wooden sticks. Slide those beads onto the sticks in whatever color pattern makes you happy and glue the top and bottom ones in place so they do not slide right off. Push these new colorful stakes into the dirt next to your plants and let the afternoon sun hit their shiny sides. The beads will grab the light and add a really fun, magical glow to your yard, looking almost like little hidden gems resting in the leaves. Why is this so great? It adds a really fun, surprising texture to your yard without taking attention away from your beautiful natural flowers. A good trick is to mix up big and small beads for a much cooler pattern. Just make sure the sticks are tall enough to peek out proudly over the tops of your plants. Hack number 5. Making cozy lanterns out of old tin cans. After you wash out your empty soup or bean cans, grab a regular hammer and a nail and start tapping little holes into the sides to make fun shapes like stars, swirls, or little hearts. Give them a nice coat of flat black, bright white, or shiny metallic spray paint that can handle the outdoor weather. Drop a little battery-powered candle or a tea light inside, and set them all around your deck, patio, or garden paths. When the sun goes down, these little lights throw amazing, beautiful shadows and turn your yard into a magical, glowing hideaway. Why does this work? The light shining through the tiny little holes looks absolutely gorgeous and makes hanging out outside at night feel so warm and intimate. To make them even cuter, tie some rough string or a nice ribbon around the top, or add a wire handle so you can hang them from the trees. By the way, my dear gardening friend, have you hit that subscribe button yet? Hack number 6. Colorful stepping stones from mosaic tiles. Think about walking through your yard on a path that actually tells a fun story. Every single step gives you a bright splash of color and personality right under your shoes. Using small mosaic tiles, you can build a walkway that does its job while looking like a true work of art. Start by grabbing some cheap sheets of small tiles from a craft shop or the dollar store. You can usually find plastic molds to make concrete stones online or at secondhand shops. Lay your tiles out in really fun shapes, maybe geometric squares, floral swirls, or just a crazy random mix of colors. Stick them down onto the concrete base with strong outdoor glue, and finish it off by sealing everything with waterproof grout. Why is this a winner? The shiny tiles catch the daylight and throw bright reflections, adding so much amazing texture to break up all the green grass. They instantly become a highlight that makes visitors want to walk around and explore your yard even more. My advice? Pick tile colors that match your blooming flowers or the general vibe of your house so everything ties together perfectly. With these decorated stones, even a tiny garden path turns into a really happy walk. Hack number 7. Fairy garden planters made from teacups. For a bit of pure magic, try turning old thrifted teacups into tiny planters for a fairy garden. Look for cups with beautiful designs and fine details, the sort that seem pulled straight out of a classic storybook. Pack each cup with special cactus dirt and plant some tiny succulents or soft moss. Set these miniature landscapes out on garden benches, patio tables, or tucked right next to your larger pots. The tiny size creates a very personal, sweet little scene, almost like a hidden retreat just for fairies. Why is this so effective? The fragile cups bring so much grace and beauty, while the little succulents make taking care of them a total breeze. Putting these together gives your outside area a lovely, old-fashioned, romantic feel. An expert tip for you. If the cup material soaks up water, brush a clear outdoor sealer on the inside so it does not get ruined by moisture. Hack number 8. Turning dollar store placemats into outdoor wall art. Plain, empty garden walls or bare wood fences can sometimes look a bit boring, but with this trick, you can put up beautiful, textured, colorful artwork without spending a fortune. Grab some textured or woven table placemats from your local dollar store. Give them a quick coat of weather-resistant spray paint in shades you absolutely love. You could go with gentle pastel colors for a distressed country cottage feel, or choose really bright, strong colors for something much more modern. Hang them up one by one, group them together on wood strips, or just attach them right to your fence boards to build a really stunning outdoor art gallery. Why does this look so good? The woven pattern gives the wall a neat 3D effect and grabs your attention, making your patio feel super decorated and cozy. It is a really smart way to show off your style and make the whole yard look like it was professionally designed. My advice? Grab some zip ties or outdoor command hooks so you do not damage your fence and can easily change the art later. Hack number 9. A vertical plant ladder. Second-hand shops are always full of old wooden step ladders that can easily be brought back to life as incredible plant stands. Smooth out any rough patches with sandpaper and then brush on some tough outdoor paint or weather-resistant wood stain. You can attach little wooden boards to make shelves or just hang up your potted plants from the steps using metal S-hooks. Prop the whole thing right up against a fence or the side of your house to create a beautiful, space-saving vertical garden. Why does this trick work? Growing things upward makes the most out of a tiny space and builds gorgeous layers of leaves that delight the eye. The old distressed ladder brings in wonderful texture and vintage beauty, making your outdoor space feel totally loved and lived in. Here is a tip. Combine different kinds of plants, different colored pots, and different sizes to make it look really natural and dynamic. Hack number 10. Glass jars turned into candle holders. Basic glass jars from the second-hand shop or the dollar store can turn into absolutely magical candle lanterns with just a couple of easy steps. Just wrap the outside of the jars with some rustic string, pretty lace, or shiny crafting wire to give them a great texture. Drop a small tea light or a little sun-powered candle right inside. Place these little lanterns all over your outdoor dining tables, along your porch steps, or tie them up with ribbon to get a gentle, dancing light that totally changes the mood of your yard after the sun sets. Why is this so lovely? The mix of the clear glass and the gentle, warm candlelight sets a perfectly inviting and cozy atmosphere. The rough string or delicate lace gives it a country chic style that looks very homey but still quite elegant. A pro tip: drop in some bug-repelling citronella candles to keep the mosquitoes away while keeping that beautiful glow. And make sure to subscribe to our channel if you are enjoying the amazing tips we are serving up today. Hack number 11. Custom garden signs. Just picture wandering through your yard and spotting adorable little signs that greet you as you walk. You can name your specific plants or even write out some happy, encouraging quotes. Making your own custom garden signs out of cheap wood blocks or old cutting boards from the thrift shop adds exactly that kind of magic. Begin by grabbing a few small wood signs or flat cutting boards. Coat the front in dark chalkboard paint or a really bright, fun shade. Grab some stencils or just use your own handwriting to paint on the names of your flowers, a lovely quote, or a nice welcome message using paint markers or chalk pens. Spray a good coat of weather protector over the whole thing so the bright sun and heavy rain will not ruin your hard work. After that, just push them down into the soil or hang them up on the fence for an instant boost of character. Why is this a great idea? Custom signs turn your flower beds into a place that tells a story, showing off your personal taste while also helping you identify your plants. They are very useful, super cute, and incredibly easy to switch out as the seasons change. Try making a few different signs for different holidays to keep your yard looking fresh all year long. Hack number 12. Reflective garden mirrors. Putting mirrors outside might sound a little strange at first, but it is actually a major designer trick for making a space look deeper and brighter. Hunt down some old mirrors with cool, funky frames at your local thrift store. A lot of times, a frame with chipped paint or weathered wood actually makes it look even better. Wipe the glass down to get it clean, and give the frame a touch-up with some paint meant for the outdoors. Then, hang them up in clever spots where they will reflect your thick, leafy plants, your brightest flowers, or even just the beautiful sky. Why is this so effective? Mirrors bounce the natural light all around, which makes a tiny backyard feel much bigger and sunnier. On top of that, they bring a really cool artistic touch by doubling your prettiest views and offering up some surprising angles. Try placing a mirror right next to your best blooming flowers for twice the visual impact. Or stick one on a boring, empty wall to break up the flat space. A quick pro tip: definitely use heavy-duty hanging hardware meant for outside, and try to hang the mirrors where the blazing afternoon sun will not hit them directly to avoid damaging the glass. Hack number 13. Turning wire baskets into breezy planters. Those cheap metal or mesh baskets from the dollar store easily become very cool modern plant holders. Just put some moss or a coconut liner inside so the dirt and water stay put. Drop in some hanging vines, little blooming flowers, or fresh herbs. You can hang these up from a porch roof, tree branches, or heavy plant hooks, or simply set them on an outdoor table. Why is this a great idea? The open wires give the roots plenty of air, and they weigh almost nothing, so moving them around is a breeze. The hard metal style looks wonderful next to delicate leaves. A good tip: if you live somewhere humid, give the baskets a quick spray with rust-blocking paint so they last longer. Hack number 14. Stacked trays for succulents. You can save lots of room and build a beautiful centerpiece by using tiered cake stands or stacking trays from the dollar store. Just arrange tiny, shallow cups filled with dirt, little stones, moss, and succulents on every tier. This builds a really full, stacked display that looks incredible on an outdoor coffee table or tucked in a patio corner. Why does this trick work so well? Stacking things vertically pulls your attention up, making a small area feel packed with life. Succulents hardly need any watering, so this piece stays looking gorgeous with zero stress. Combine different types and shades of plants for a really cool look. Expert tip. Spin the stand around every so often so all the little plants get their fair share of sunshine. Hack number 15. Making privacy walls from old shutters. For a really classy way to hide your space from neighbors, grab some old wooden window shutters from a second-hand shop. Sand them down and brush on some paint to fit your yard style, whether that is country cottage, weathered farm, or sleek and simple. Hook a few of them together using basic hinges or even strong zip ties so they fold out like a screen. Stand them up near your sitting areas or balcony to hide ugly views and give yourself some peace. Why do this? The slatted wood brings so much character and makes your patio feel like a private, cozy room. It is a beautiful alternative to those boring plastic screens. A bonus idea? Plant some climbing ivy right next to it so it grows up the wood and blends right into nature. Hack number 16. Giving plain terracotta pots a makeover. Basic clay pots can become the star of your garden just by adding a splash of color and some creativity. Pick up some cheap ones at garden shops or thrift stores, bring them home, and wash off all the dirt. Grab some outdoor craft paint or spray paint in your favorite shades. You might choose soft, creamy colors for a vintage feel, or sharp, bright shapes for a trendy look. Paint on your own custom shapes or use a stencil. When they are totally dry, spray them with a clear, waterproof sealer so the rain will not wash your art away. Why is this a winner? It changes boring pots into bright, happy decorations that really show off your unique taste. Quick tip: use chalky paint or shiny gold accents to make them look really expensive, and group a few painted pots together for a huge visual punch. Hack number 17. Making your own hanging planters with string. Bring some soft, woven texture to your outdoor space by tying up simple macrame plant hangers using cheap yarn or tough string. The dollar store usually has exactly what you need for this. Just look up a basic tying guide online to make a beautiful holder that wraps around your pot. Hang these woven pieces from tree branches or your porch ceiling. Putting plants up in the air gives you more walking room and makes people look up. Why does this look so good? The knotted string gives a very relaxed, bohemian feel, and putting plants high up makes the whole yard feel like a thick, green jungle. A quick tip: stick to brown string to match the trees, or use bright yarn to add a fun splash of color. Hack number 18. An old wooden ladder turned into an herb stand. Those classic wooden step ladders from second-hand stores also make the absolute perfect spot to organize your fresh herbs. Smooth out the wood and seal it or paint it to handle the weather. Screw on some small wooden ledges or add heavy hooks so you can rest pots, hang baskets, or even store your little shovels. Prop it right up against your shed or back fence. This tall setup is wonderful if you do not have much ground space. Why is this trick so useful? Growing upward fits way more plants into a tight spot, and the beautifully aged wood makes the whole area feel warm and inviting. Tip: play around with different pot shapes and colors to keep the display looking fun and lively. Hack number 19. Plant signs made from old tool handles. Instead of throwing away broken rakes or shovels, cut down those wooden handles and use them as strong garden markers. Sand the sticks so they are nice and smooth, then coat them in bright colors or dark chalkboard paint. Grab a paint pen to clearly write out the names of your tomatoes, basil, or blooming flowers. Push them deep into the dirt for a really tough, country-style sign that looks right at home in the soil. Why do this? These solid wood sticks will not blow away. You can use them year after year, and they bring a really sweet, old-school farming feel to your beds. A fun tip: draw little designs like tiny leaves or polka dots to make each stick extra special. Hack number 20. Covering pots in Pebble mosaics. You can make gorgeous, heavily textured planters by sticking smooth little stones all over basic plastic buckets or plain pots. Buy a bag of rocks at the craft shop, or just hunt for them in your own driveway. Grab some heavy-duty outdoor glue and stick the pebbles right onto the side, making cool shapes, stripes, or just covering the whole thing. Finish it off by rubbing waterproof grout over the stones so they never pop off. Why is this so fantastic? The bumpy rocks feel great to touch and give your patio a really beautiful, beachy, natural look. Tip: use stones that are all the same natural color for a quiet, relaxing vibe. Or paint the rocks first if you want something super quirky and bright. And there you have it. 20 amazing, budget-friendly tricks that will make your yard look like a professional put it together. By hitting the thrift shops, grabbing some dollar store deals, and using your imagination, you can turn any boring backyard into a gorgeous, stylish retreat packed with life and color. Which of these ideas are you the most excited to try? Drop a comment down below because I would love to hear what you are working on. If you enjoyed these tips today, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming outdoor makeovers. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and happy thrifty gardening.